Baruch Ata Asher Anat Malacha Halam Asher Kiddishani Mitzvotav V'tzivani Lehitatif L'tzitzit. Yes, Foxy. Shema Yisrael Asher Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. Vahafta et Anat Elohecha ובכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך וחיוך הדברים האלה אשר נוחים מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך וחיה כי ויחיו אלוהיך אל הארץ אשר נשבע לאבותיך לאברהם לישכח על יעקב לתת לך ערים גדולות וטובות אשר לא בנית ובתים מלאים כל טובה אשר למילתה וברות הצווים אשר לא עשת כי ערים וזיתים אשר לא נתת והלכת ושבת הישמר לך פן תשכח את יהוה אשר תישך מארץ מצרים מבית עבדים. Hi, good morning. I hope you're doing okay, Sarah. You can read again? Are you in bed? I'm sorry you're unwell. And good morning, Kimmy. And good morning, Will. Gang's all here bright and early. I'm having a funny morning. I have a lot of emotions that are difficult for me to place or describe. I'm feeling them and not knowing their target or their source. And I'm just here, like, what's going on with me? I don't fucking know. I guess that's just the way that it is sometimes. Hey, Shay. I'm glad you watch me all the time. That makes me feel good. I'm glad to be here with you right now. So, where we left off. Yeah, you're a little messed up. I'm so sorry. But I suppose if you weren't a little messed up, I probably wouldn't know you. So, silver linings? Good morning, people. Good morning, Dr. Punk. How are you? What are you up to today? I hope it's something exciting and high energy with 4 exclamation marks. Flaky quiet. Flaky's a bit ill. She has some diseases. So, where we left off, Gilgamesh was proposing a quest. Gilgamesh says to Enkidu, "There dwells in the forest a fierce monster, Humbaba. You and I shall kill him and wipe out something evil from the land." Now, is Humbaba evil? Is he evil? Really? You have to be skeptical of these monster-slaying stories, right? Like the Anzu bird, if you remember the Anzu bird we were reading a few months ago, the Anzu bird just wanted free will. I don't think that's evil. That's liberation. But nonetheless, the Anzu bird was tracked down and killed, and the tablet of law stolen back to be placed in the Isagil. So we have something similar here going on, and Enkidu knows it. Enkidu says, "This is not a good idea." Enkidu made ready to speak, saying to Gilgamesh, "My friend, I know that country where I roamed with wild beasts. The forest is 60 double leagues in every direction. Who can go into it? Humbaba's cry is the roar of a deluge. His maw is fire. His breath is death. Why do you want to do this? The haunt of Humbaba is a hopeless quest. Don't do it. It will be bad if you do it." Good, Kisarik. How's the weather in Australia? Or New Zealand? Or Guam? Probably New Zealand. His breath is death, yes. He's got very bad halitosis. Enkidu says, "Don't go. You might have met him once." In the forest troll with the terrible bad breath, because he never brushes his teeth. Raining in Australia. Well, that's good. A lot of Australia is quite dry. I'm glad it's raining. Rain is good. Gilgamesh made ready to speak, saying to Enkidu, "I must go up the mountain forest. I must cut a cedar tree. The cedar must be big enough to make whirlwinds when it falls." Enkidu says, "Don't do this. It's a fool's errand." And Gilgamesh says, "I've got to, because I need that big shaft." Enkidu made ready to speak, saying to Gilgamesh, "Really don't. Really, just don't. How shall the likes of us go into the forest of the cedars, my friend? In order to safeguard the forest of the cedars, Enlil has appointed him to terrify the people. He's God appointed. Enlil has destined him for 7 fearsome glories. That journey is not to be undertaken. The creature is not to be looked upon. The guardian of the forest cedars, Humbaba's cry is the roar of the deluge. His maw is fire. His breath is death. He can hear rustling in the forest for 60 double leagues. Who can go into his forest? Adad is the first, and Humbaba is second. Who, even among the gods, could attack him? In order to safeguard the forest of the cedars, Enlil has appointed him to terrify the people. Enlil has destined him 7 fearsome glories. Besides, whoever enters his forest is struck down by disease. Don't go, Gilgamesh. Don't do it." But Gilgamesh made ready to speak, saying to Enkidu, "My friend, do you raise such unworthy objections? Who, my friend, can go up to heaven? The gods dwell forever in the sun. People's days are numbered. We're going to die, so we might as well do something heroic. Whatever they attempt is a puff of air. Here you are, even you, afraid of death? What has become of your bravery's might? I will go before you. You can call out to me. Go on. Do not be afraid. If I fall on the way, I'll establish my name." And you know he does. We're still talking about his name. "Gilgamesh, who joined battle with fierce Humbaba," they'll say. And they do say. We continue to say this. The story is aware of itself as a story. So we have an author's note here. The Mesopotamians believed the divine beings were surrounded by blinding, awe-inspiring radiance. In the old versions of the Epic of Gilgamesh, this radiance, called here glories, was considered removable, like garments or jewelry. So Enlil has destined him for 7 fearsome glories, 7 layers of radiance. So they're arguing. Should we go kill Humbaba? Should we not? Gilgamesh says, "Why are you afraid of dying? I plan on being immortal. and people 4,000 years from now on TikTok will be saying my name and repeating my great kingly, manly deeds. You were born and grew up on the steppe. When a lion sprang at you, you knew what to do. Young men fled before you. And Enkidu responds, you speak unworthily. How you pool? You make me ill. I must set my hand to cutting a cedar tree. I must establish eternal fame. Oh no, this is Gilgamesh. Come, my friend. Let's both off be to the foundry. Let them cast axes, as we'll need. So, now they go to the foundry to get some axes so they can cut down the cedars. What you laughing at, Batya? Yes, it's reading time. So, Gilgamesh asks for some axes to be built. After supervising the casting of enormous axes and weapons, Gilgamesh informs the citizenry of Uruk his planned campaign to cut down the cedar forest of Humbaba. First, he addresses the elders, speaking of his desire for eternal fame. I also have that desire, did you know? 4,000 years later on TikTok, yes, 4,000 years later, Gilgamesh still eternally famous. Imagine that. What nonsense. So Gilgamesh informs the citizenry of Uruk of his planned campaign. First, he addresses the elders, speaking of his desire for eternal fame. Next, the young men, appealing to their sense of adventure. Yes, their sense of adventure. He promises to return in time to celebrate the springtime festival of the new year, and Enkidu and the elders attempt unsuccessfully to dissuade him. Don't do it, Gilgamesh, don't do it! Off they went to the craftsmen. The craftsmen, seating around, discussed the matter. They cast great axes. Remember Gilgamesh had a dream about a great axe that he fell in love with and had sex with like a woman? Interesting. They cast great axes. Axe blades weighing 180 pounds each they cast. That's more than me. I don't know how you could wield an axe like that. They cast great daggers. Their blades were 120 pounds each. That's not a dagger. I'm sorry, Gilgamesh. They cross guards of their handles 30 pounds. The cross guards of their handles 30 pounds each. They carried daggers worked with 30 pounds of gold. Gilgamesh and Enkidu bore 10 times 60 pounds each. 600 pounds of gear. I don't know about this translation of the word pounds. Maybe it means like carats or shekels or something. He bolted the 7 gates of Uruk. He's closing the gates of Uruk so no one can come in. Listen to the multitude convened. Turned out the street on the ramparted Uruk. Gilgamesh on his throne. In the street of ramparted Uruk, Enkidu set before him. Gilgamesh spoke to the elders of ramparted Uruk. Hear me, O elders of ramparted Uruk. The one whom they speak, I, Gilgamesh, would see. The one whose name sounds across the whole world. It does. Look at me sending Gilgamesh's name to Israel and Australia. What's going on? The one whose name resounds across the whole world. I will hunt him down in the forest of cedars. I will make the land hear how mighty is the scion of Uruk. I will set my hand to cutting a cedar. An eternal name I will make from myself. Gilgamesh turns to the young men of the city. In an old version of this episode, the elders respond at this point. See below, lines 257 to 273. The standard version apparently expanded this incident to include parallel speeches to both the elders and the young men. So here's the speech to the elders. Hear me, O young men of ramparted Uruk, young men of Uruk who understand this cause. I've taken on a noble quest that he invented. I travel to a distant road where Humbaba is. I face battle unknown. I mount a campaign unknown. Give me your blessing, young men, that I may go to my journey, that I may indeed see your faces safely again, that I may indeed re-enter joyfully the gate of ramparted Uruk, that I may indeed return to hold the festival for the new year, that I may indeed celebrate the festival for the new year twice over. May that festival be held in my presence. The fanfare sound. May the drums resound before you. So he's going to go on an adventure, and then he's going to come back. Okay. But Enkidu doesn't like this. Enkidu pressed advice upon the elders, upon the young men of Uruk who understood this cause. Enkidu says, tell him he must not go to the forest of cedars. That journey is not to be undertaken. The creature is not to be looked upon. The guardian of the forest cedars, Humbaba's cry is the roar of the deluge. His maw is fire. His breath is death. He can hear rustling in the forest 60 double leagues. Who can go into the forest? Adad is first, and Humbaba is second. Who, even among the gods, could attack him? In order to safeguard the forest cedars, Enlil has appointed him to terrify the people. Enlil has destined him 7 fearsome glories. Besides, whoever enters his forest will be struck down by disease. So Enkidu's just repeating himself. He doesn't know what else to do. He's like, don't do this. It's a fool's errand. You're gonna die. You're confused. What are you confused by, Connie? The elders of Ramparted Uruk arose. They responded to Gilgamesh with their advice. You are young, Gilgamesh. Your feelings carry you away. You are ignorant of what you speak. Flightiness has taken you. You do not know what you are attempting. You have heard of Humbabas. His features are grotesque. Who is there who could face his weaponry? He can hear rustling in the forest 60 double leagues. Who can go into it? Humbaba's cry is the roar of the deluge. His maw is fire. His breath is death. You've met someone like that, huh? Adad is first, and Humbaba is second. Who, even among the gods, could attack him? In order to safeguard the forest of cedars, Enlil has appointed him to terrify the people. Enlil has destined him 7 fearsome glories. Besides, whoever enters his forest is struck down by disease. Don't go! When Gilgamesh heard the speech of his counselors, he looked at his friend and laughed. Ha! Now then, my friend, do you say the same? I am afraid to die. Are you afraid to die? Am I afraid to die? I am afraid to die. I feel like I haven't done enough with my life yet. I'm not, death would be premature. But death is always premature, right? Are you afraid to die? That is the question that Gilgamesh asks us. What is it to live? What is it to die? Is it worth it to kill the great Humbaba? I don't know. We will leave off there, and we will return on Monday. Yeah. We will return on Monday and continue our story about Gilgamesh and Enkidu at Uruk and their fight with the grave Humbaba. So, now Arati. Arati means flame. Whoop. It's a little bit stuck. Here's our flame. 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 It's broke. My book is broken. Okay. So, continue on. Jaya Jaya Arati Vina Vinayaka Vina Vinayaka Shri Ganesha Jaya Jaya Arati Subramanya Subramanya Kartikeya Jaya Jaya Arati Venugopala Venugopala Venuola Papa Vidura Vanita Chora Jaya Jaya Arati Venkanta Ramana Venkanta Ramana Sankata Harana Sita Rama Radhe Shama Jaya Jaya Arati Gauri Manohara Bhavani Sankara Samba Sadashiva Uma Maheshwara Jaya Jaya Arati Raja Rajeshwari Raja Rajeshwari Tripura Sundari Mahalakshmi and Mahasaraswati Mahakali and Mahashakti Jaya Jaya Arati Anjaneya Anjaneya Hanumanta Jaya Jaya Arati Dattatreya Trimutri Avatara Jaya Jaya Arati Adityaya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jaya Arati Sanistaraya Sanistaraya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jaya Arati Sankaracharya Sankaracharya Advaita Guravi Jaya Jaya Arati Sadgurunata Sadgurunata Shivananda Jaya Jaya Arati Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Jaya Jaya Arati Agastya Munaye Agastya Munaye Shriyama Priyaye Jaya Jaya Arati Ayappa Samine Ayappa Swamine Dharma Shastave Jaya Jaya Arati Jesus Gurave Moses Gurave Buddha Gurave Jaya Jaya Arati Muhammad Gurave Guru Nanak Gurave Samastya Gurubho Namaha Jaya Jaya Arati Venugopala Natatrasya bhati natandrakaratam nema video bhati kutoy magni Tameva bantamirnavandi sarvam tasya basya samridam vivanti Om Gange Kayamane Kaiva Govari Saraswati Narmade Sirikaveri Hiya Namastitam Namo Namaha. Neither the sun shines there, nor the moon, nor stars, nor lightning. So, from where does its light come? When that shines, everything shines after that. By its light, everything else is lit. Tvameva mata chapita tvameva Tvameva bandusha saka tvameva Tvameva vidya javinam tvameva Tvameva sarvam mama diva diva Kayena vacha manasandya hirva Buddhyatmana va prakriti sabhavad Karomi adyad sakalam prasmahi Narayana iti sarmar payami Savadamam pravichayama mukam savanam vija Am sva sarvapapayo mukshayami masucha. Whatever actions I perform with my body, speech, mind, senses, my nature, my intellect, or my emotions, all these, I dedicate to you. Thank you. But I don't want to pray to my maker, no, I just want to be what I see. Not just who I am, but the pink and golden land, and that wild, wild sky over me. Help me to the sun, hey, I'm looking everywhere. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer, and I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray. We don't want to pray, and it's not much good to talk. Better to walk it. Ooh, not much good to take. Better to give. We are done, forgiven, and forgotten of our sins. But I promise you, my friends, all that dies will live again. So, pardon God and Mom, what I'm saying isn't fair. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer, and I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, we don't want to pray, and it's not much good to talk, better to walk it, ooh, not much good to take, better to give, We are done, forgiven, and forgotten of our sins, and I promise you, my friends, all that dies will live again, so, pardon God and Mom, what I'm saying isn't fair, see, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer, and I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, we don't want to pray. I love Allah, Allah made love, and Yahweh made hate. Asher made good, and Anat made bad. Elohim made love, and Yahweh made hate. I love Allah. God made. But I don't want to pray to my Maker. I just want to be what I see. Not like who I am, not like in a book or the leaves of trees that shook, from a word that means only not a thing, Hashem. Pardon, God and Mom, what I'm saying isn't fair. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer, and I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray. We don't want to pray. Pray. Allah, Allah made love. And Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. Asher, Asher made good. And Anat made bad. Eloheinu made love. And Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. Love Allah. God made me. You don't want to pray, but you're still here, Jada, huh? Fancy that. Thank you. I am so deeply touched that you are still here. That you're all still here. So, we will say the mourner's Kaddish now to conclude. We conclude with grief, because Gilgamesh does not want to die. He wants to do great dangerous deeds, and he does not want to die of them. But he will. We say Kaddish to remind ourselves that the suffering we experience is normal. Maybe. That's what I'm doing right now. I am reminding myself that the pain that I experience in this body, in this life, is part of what it is to have experience at all. And I have to remind myself of that every single day. Otherwise, I might feel too lost to take actions. And I like taking actions. I like doing things, you know? I don't want to just stare out my window wondering about the frustrations of existence. I want to be and to do. So we say these words to acknowledge that being and doing involves pain, but we can be and do anyway. So for the last 2,500 years, my ancestors have said these words together in response to death. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shema Rabbah. Biamati Frachiote Viamlich Malchute Bechayachon Viamechon Vchayde Kol Be Israel Bagala Visman Kari Vimru. Amen. Yehe Shema Rabbah Mivarach Lialam Amay Amaya Yitbarach Vishtabach Vitbar Vitamam Vitnase Vitadar Vitale Vitalal Shema de Kudisha Perichu Leila Min Kol Birchata Vishirata Tushbechata Venechemata Demiran Biama Vimru. Amen. Yehe Shlema Rabbah Min Shemaya Vechayim Alina Viachol Yisrael Vimru. Amen. Ose Shalom Bimramav Huya Ase Shalom Alina Viachol Yisrael Vimru. Amen. Ose Shalom Bimramav Huya Ase Shalom Aleinu Vialechol Yisrael Vimru Vimru. Amen. Okay, we've done it. We've succeeded in connection, in communication, and in being. We've succeeded in being for one more day. I'll see you soon, friends. I hope you have a really lovely weekend. I'll be back on Monday. No, maybe. So the issue with TikTok is that it's actually very difficult to understand or remember people's usernames, right? Like, so you're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and their username isn't on your For You page. You have to click on their bio to read it. So maybe I've seen her content, but I don't actually know. She's a trans woman, maybe. Check out the link in my bio. Join the Discord server. Post a link in Chit Chat. I would love to check out what her content is like. And see another vibrant soul in the tiny little square box. What am I doing with the rest of my time today? I am editing my thesis. Here, I can show you. Where is it? Look, I wrote a book. It's a very boring book. It's got lots of pictures of mushrooms in it. There they are. So I'm in the final stages of editing this. Like, it's basically done. I have to go through and modify it to make sure that it has a consistent voice. So there's a few places I've noted that I have to add some stuff. So I'm gonna do that, And, yeah, in like, I don't know, in like a week, I'll have this submitted, and, then in like 3 weeks, I'm gonna be a doctor. It's surreal. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of the day. What are you gonna be doing for the rest of the day, Jada? Good morning, Hi Queen Sav. Yeah, tenuous. I've been working on this for 9 years, basically, uh, and writing every day since September. Working outside. It's a gorgeous, warm one. Good. I'm glad you get to be outside today. Yeah. So I'll be back on Monday, and in the meantime, how do I stay motivated to keep working on it? Depression. A desperation. Yeah, I wouldn't say that my motivation is a healthy one. A sense of feeling trapped and bored and needing to escape. That's my motivation, unfortunately. But it's okay. It's nearly done. So, we can chat more if you check out the link in my bio, join the Discord server. You can also support the stream on Patreon or leave a one-time tip or, things like that if you feel so inclined. It does make a big difference in my life. It really does. Yeah. And I'll see you on Monday. And I hope you have a lovely day. And a great weekend. Yeah, it's springtime. It's finally spring. My windows are open for the first time in months. It feels nice. Okay. I'll see you all next week.